Yo, people, welcome back to another episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea, episode 186. And I'm joined by the cast and crew, Younes, Miz, and Javon as well, as you can see, and maybe even Baba later on in the episode. But listen, we are having another stellar weekend. Emphatic weekend, beautiful creme de la creme weekend. Not only because we won, but also because heads are spinning, elsewhere in the country. But before we get into all of that, Younes, let me start with you, brother. How are you feeling today? How are you doing?
Bro, I'm good. We'll get into the meltdowns that's going on the other side of the country. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it's not the other side of the country. Most of them are in London, aren't they? Funny that. So we'll get into that shortly. But in terms of our lot, happy days. Very happy days, bro. It's looking good. And I hope it can continue that way. But I'm looking forward to getting into, and I can say this because we're on Matisse's channel. Yeah, this is his original stuff. But I'm looking forward to getting into this analysis. Bring it.
We're going to get into some analysis. There's a lot to talk about. At halftime in our game, I said, I'm actually good. I'm good. We can stop right now. Do you know what I mean? And we basically did. That's where the scoreline ended. Miz, brother Miz, how are we feeling today? Another win, another 3 points.
It's beautiful, bro. When you've been in the mud for 2 years, 2 seasons running, you cherish the victories now. You know the value of winning, and I'm not getting too carried away, but at the same time I'm enjoying the run that we're on, so hopefully it continues. But I've got my feet well and truly grounded, bro. I've got it well and truly locked in, bro. Locked in. I am not skating as yet. We are still walking, bro.
100%, as am I, to be honest, because I am taking it game by game. And Javon, brother, it's a good life we're living right now, man. Kind of got to box this feeling up and just take it away. Do you know what I mean? Incredible.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good to actually going into games feeling confident, going in behind and still feeling confident because you know the manager, if all else fails, he's going to change something to affect the game. And it feels really good going into games, knowing they're games you should win and knowing that, 90% of the time you're going to win the game. So, like me said, being in the mud for 2 years and actually approaching games with a little bit less fear, not wanting to fight as anything go off is a good feeling.
It's certainly a good feeling, even though very early days, we're 6 games in, but we're sitting in a position which is more like us. Do you know what I mean? We're sitting in a position in the table that is respectable. It's in the right conversations, in the right groups. And I mean, there's only one place to start. There's only one place to start. I saw Javon in his review, shiver me timbers and all this. Things were falling from the sky. I'm not taking that edit. That's yours, brother. You know what I mean? That's yours. What a beautiful edit. You know what I mean? I must have watched that back like 5 times.
Thank you.
Wow. Cole, Jermaine, Palmer. I mean, what kind of performance was that in the first half? What kind of conversations is he in? What kind of stratosphere is he going to? Because I usually have a 2-year rule before calling people world class. I said, yo, you need to perform for 2 seasons because I can't just be taking 1 season and calling you world class. We need to give it some time. We need to get our foot under the table. No. I'm saying this brother's world class now. Because I don't really see what the point is in stalling and waiting. I'm ready to go into 6th, 7th gear. This brother, 4 goals in a game, could have had 5, hit the post, could have had 3 assists, set up chance after chance. Jackson cleared off the line, just chances galore. And nothing phases him. It's not like as if we need to manage him, we need to look after his ego, or we need to guys, we need to make sure that he doesn't get out of hand, or, he's got an attitude, or he thinks he's bigger than he is, he's got an ego, or he's selfish. This guy was made in a lab. I called him a robot. He's a freak. He's an alien. He's not human. He's not. We might have the first charge. Man City, 115, we might have the first charge. We might have the first. I'm sure one of those charges are Haaland. There's 2 robots in this Premier League. 4 goals. from a midfielder.
In 20 minutes.
I was starting to utter Frank Lampard-esque. Like, I don't want to say it, but I've never seen someone put in this level of output, Younes.
Bro.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's stupid.
I'm going to say, Saeed put it perfectly, yes. Saeed's in the mud.
Last four
But we'll
words.
get that later. He put that Man City should get 116 charges because they sold Cole Palmer to us for 40 million. So that sums everything up in a nutshell. Cole Palmer is, I don't like to throw the term world class. Yeah, I see it happen way too many times. One great game, he's world class. Like, that's not how it works. But let me tell you, Cole Palmer is world class. That he has completely demonstrated the definition of the term world class. Yeah, that is world class. So I'm really, really happy with Cole Palmer, man. The guy's a natural, and this is why. You remember on our podcast, Javon, over on his channel, yeah, Final Whistle Podcast, we mentioned, you asked me, which player do you relate with right now in this Chelsea team? And I told you that it's Cole Palmer, because when we're asking of what is the Chelsea level that we really want our players to be at, there's one that's already there, and we know he's there, and he's not only flipping demonstrate even more now. He's put us in shock. Like, our jaws are on the floor. I knew he was good, but bloody hell, I didn't think he was like this. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just really happy with Cole Palmer, and he does it so naturally. It's like he's not even trying. This is what's like baffling my brain. Like, he's so like nonchalant about everything in his life. He's just like, yeah, mate, standard. Do you know what I mean? And he just does it. Unbelievable. What a player. What a player. What a player.
In the Premier League interview, he was, I think, there was some sort of photo shoot going on. They were like, can you give us, a 1 and then a 2 and then a 3? If you get a hat trick, Cole, you could give us 3, right? And he was like, well, why not 4? And I'm like, whoa, slow down there, buddy. You know what I mean? Well, okay, you can go 1, you can go 2, you can go 3, and then you can go 4. And then he's going 1, 2, 3. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Brother goes and drops 4.
Then he does it in record time.
Has he not made history and equaled?
He's the first Premier League player to score 4 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
Has he not already equaled the amount of hat tricks that Lampard and Hasselbank got as well?
Hasselbank, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No,
Drogba. Puts him above
Drogba.
at the top. And Drogba has 4?
Yeah, apparently he's equal
20.
to Drogba.
How old is this guy?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's Hasselbank, Lampard, and Drogba. So one more hat trick puts him at top. And who's to say he's not going to get one for the rest of the season?
Brother, he's going to get one. He's going to get another one soon.
Next week. Like, at this rate, he might just get it on a frequent. You know what I mean? So.
Can I touch on a very important point regarding Cole Palmer, right?
Yes.
Much like, I'm going to take it back to years back, right? You know how back in the mold that everyone loves, where you will have these maverick players and they will get their hat trick and they will get their hat trick of assist. Very rarely do we see someone bag 4 goals but yet still put 5 clear chances on a plate for someone else in the same game.
Yep.
Think about how crazy that is. Yep. You didn't rise to the perfect example. I've seen games where Ronaldo rises to the occasion, but that's him scoring, right? Cole Palmer, and I'm not comparing the two. Ronaldo's just the first person I can think of. Cole Palmer has risen in that game. He scored 4 goals, but yet still he could have 5, 6 assists when you look at the chances that Jackson missed.
Yeah.
Think about it. This man didn't say, okay, I'm going to just win the game, score 4 goals, and then I'm going to settle back down again. No! This man still pulled up those line-breaking passes, put the ball on a plate. Jackson should have had a hat trick from Cole Palmer himself. So when Matty says he's made in a lab, it's got to be true. I haven't seen a player like this in ages. People talk about their Yamal. Yamal is young, so I'm not even going to go too hard on him. But he scores goals and he just creates chances. But to create these type of chances where, listen, Just put it away, and it's a goal. Jackson, the type of chances he creates, and I think Rand said this, you don't even have to think about it. It's when you think about it, that's when you miss. And for me, that's the main point. The 4 goals are splendid, but the fact that he still is in that game as the focal point by creating for others, if those goals were converted, not the 2 he missed, but from the chances he created, it would be a totally different conversation. I'm telling you, it would be next level.
Yeah, he could have got 9 GA in a game. That's nuts.
One game. That's what I'm saying. One game.
Do you know what? Like, we actually need to put this into perspective. Like, this brother, he can definitely bury a penalty. Like, the technique in his penalty is amazing.
No doubts.
He's already shown what a class free kick taker he is. And his overall gameplay, I was actually talking about this on my channel with Ryan, who I do this podcast with, and we were saying this guy's ball playing ability is no lesser than Iniesta level in terms of his vision, in terms of his touches, in terms of his, incisive passing, is no lesser than someone in the ilk of Iniesta. But then his scoring rate is also no lesser than someone in the ilk of Frank Lampard. Now, Frank Lampard used to crash into the box. This guy doesn't crash into the box. This guy, he's like a second striker at times. Like, he's got the technicality to be a bona fide second striker. He is a complete package. What can't this guy do? People say, "Oh, Miz, it's a bit of a ridiculous comparison with Saka because Saka's a winger and Cole Palmer's the number 10." Well, put Cole Palmer as a winger as well. You'll see what he does there too. Like,
he was playing on the wing last season.
It doesn't matter where you have this guy. Do you know what I mean? It truly doesn't matter where you have this guy. And this is why I said it as well off the back of that match against Brighton, that there's no reason why we can't say he's world class. He's 100% world class. Like, this guy is ridiculous, man. He is actually ridiculous. Look at the goals he scored against Brighton as well, man. All different types. All different. Even the ball that was fed through by Sancho in such a tight angle.
That's my favorite one.
No, the guy had no doubts in his mind that this is crashing into the net.
Post.
And he whipped that shot with conviction. Like, yo, bro, it's going in. Like, I don't think there is a single player in Chelsea right now that hits the ball the way he hits it. With such conviction, with such venom. Mm-hmm. And out of all of this skill set, you know what I like the most? This guy's never satisfied.
No.
1, I'm not satisfied. 2, no, that's not good enough. 3, I got a hat trick. No, that might be a headline. Not in my books. 4, no, I'm still not satisfied. Let's get 5. Let's get 6. This guy is, as Matissa said, this guy, it's not normal. It's not human. Yeah. He is literally moving with no emotions. He's looking at the opposition and going, it's about smacking you all the time, relentlessly. Yeah, man. Look, I'm just, my only thing is, Chelsea Football Club, please do something serious. Because I want this brother to be at the club forever. Like,
he's a
do
legend.
something serious.
You want him to be one of your legends the way he's moving. I mean,
just quickly, Matisse. Just quickly. The last thing I'll say is, Cole Palmer, he knows he's going to get money in his life. He knows. Like, this guy knows he's going to make money. It's all about trophies for him. So let's make sure we do that for him.
Yeah. I got 2 points of praise for the board for signing up to a new contract. Because that is looking like a masterstroke. Signing him up to a new contract is looking like a masterstroke. I don't know how many years he had left on his deal, and I don't really care.
A lot.
because after watching that performance, I was like, sign him up again. Sign him up again. Sign him up again. Do you know what I mean? Bro, sign him up again. Do you know what I mean?
Give him a manager contract
for giving him the free, giving him the just
Once
for giving him
done.
the freedom. Just for giving him the freedom, because I think in the system that we play, you wouldn't want him to have to get chalk on his boots on that right hand side and just stay there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is what is so key for me, is that we have built our team around him, with him in the 10, and he has the license and the freedom to get about the pitch as he wants to. We're seeing goals off the right-hand side last season. We're seeing goals off the left-hand side this season against West Ham in this game, making that run from centre to left and finishing. He can finish from the left-hand side.
Exactly, same in the Wolves game as well.
Yeah.
The lob, it came off the left-hand side.
Yeah, he can finish from the left-hand side. And maybe this is why we were interested in Elise. Maybe this is why we have brought in Esteval or Kendry Pires, because it's as long as we keep this guy as the fulcrum of the team, the centerpiece of the team, and build everything around him, then we can't really go wrong, because all he needs is runners and skillful players around him. And that will bring us to Sancho later on. But this kid deserves a large portion of the podcast, because like Younes said, he is the one player that is performing to the old Chelsea levels. Champions League. We don't need to wait to get into the Champions League. This guy is going to perform in the Champions League. We don't need to wait to get into a title race. This brother is going to stand up in big games in title races. We saw it last season when he scored against Arsenal. We saw it last season when he scored against Man City. We saw it last season when he scored all of these important key goals in crunch time moments where penalties are given in the last minute against your former club. What are you going to do? Bro, it's incredible. The guy does not feel any pressure. He does not feel any fear. And that is such a blessing to have a young player that doesn't need any, in the modern era, we talk about systems. He needs the left back to invert and the left side midfielder to go out wide to create this pocket of space here so he can do this particular action. His favorite thing is the reverse pass. And then if he does that, then the runner needs to be on side for him to go and play the one. Everything's got to be so choreographed. With Cole Palmer, he's like a throwback footballer. We're not talking about what system suits him. We're not really we're just saying, just give him the ball as much as possible. We're not talking about who he plays better with. Does he need Madueke? Does he need Sancho? Does he have a chemistry with Jackson? He just plays with whoever's there.
Yeah, I want to touch on a point that you made. If we had played him out on the right, because I see a lot of people want him on the right just to fit in Nkunku, I think we're wasting a lot of his capabilities. How much times in that one game did you see him play some line-breaking passing? And you're like, what the are you doing? Where did this come from? Like I said in my review, this man is collecting infinity stones, man. This man is freaking passing, goal scoring ability from anywhere on the pitch. It's the only thing left for him to do is score a half-line goal, and we're done. We'll just pack up and go home. I'm telling you, him in that 10, him in that pocket, you get everything you could possibly want from a midfielder. So, I'm sorry, Nkunku, if that's where you wanted to play, just got a whole bench for right now.
Do you know what a lot of people don't talk about is, obviously his on-the-ball skill is fantastic, but I think people don't talk much about his off-the-ball work rate. He presses well. He presses so well along with Madueke and Nicholas Jackson. And I don't know, the amount of time this guy sneakily intercepts the pass, he's always there intercepting the opposition passes. He reads the game so damn well at a young age. It's almost as if he's standing there, he's scanning opposition build-up play, and he's like, I know exactly where you're passing next, and I'm gonna be there intercepting that. And lo and behold, the pass comes in, and he's there to intercept. And you're like, wow, this guy, honestly, for me, right now, he's the best Premier League player, man. I'm sorry to say this. I know people will say, "Oh, it's Haaland, it's this." I think
you're talking about as a footballer, and that's why I have to agree with you.
As a footballer,
no one's gonna be a better goal scorer than Haaland. But if we're talking about the best Premier League footballer who can pass, who can dribble, who can shoot, who runs, who can run a game
anywhere,
who can assist, bro. There's no one playing better than him right now outside of Haaland.
That's that.
As a Premier League footballer, there's no one playing better than him.
Even Haaland, you'd say last season, there were big portions in that season where Haaland was the best player. He just had it on lock, right? Cole Palmer right now is the best player in the Premier League. End of, because even on a goals level, which is Haaland, which is what we normally quantify Haaland for, mate, Palmer's up there trying to get 9 GA in a game. Mate, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate.
Here's this. Here's the statistic. Cole Palmer has been directly involved in more Premier League goals than any other player since the start of last season, and now has more goal contributions, 43, than Premier League appearances for Chelsea, 39. Second is Haaland with 42, Salah with 36, Watkins with 36. He is the only player to provide 15 plus Premier League assists in that time, whilst only Haaland has more goals and more hat-tricks since the start of the 23-24 campaign.
It's ridiculous.
It's actually mad, you know. And this is for a team that has not competed for anything in recent times. Can you imagine when Chelsea become a proper competing team? The impact this guy's actually going to have. Imagine, Younes has been saying in recent times, sneakily putting in the word title challenge. And I'm like, calm. Like, you know, like I got people in my live stream coming, hey, Younes saying we're title challengers. And I'm like, look, Younes can say whatever, man. Like, I'm not putting us there. But imagine we become title challengers down the track and you have a player like Cole Palmer. Imagine he's that player for a title challenging team. Oof.
This truly feels like the get back for De Bruyne. Feels like the get back.
I want to say
feel like it's going to be even better.
With Palmer, his positioning, because Javon put it really nicely in terms of him playing the 10. He is that sort of player that you don't even like have a rigid position for. Give him a free role. Like he's in that middle, he's in that 10 role. But listen, on the pitch, mate, you do what you go where you have to go. Just like Hazard did for quite a lot of games. He just roam and does where he was, a complete free role. That is where I think Palmer's going to thrive. As long as he does that, and he's the talisman of this team. And as Miz said, if we do end up leveling up, he's going to be such a big component for us, man. It's going to be stupid. We could be talking Hazard-esque levels in a few years. Hopefully we get to that conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Honestly, exactly. Because I was just about to say, I don't know about you guys, but for the longest, I've been screaming out for that player for Chelsea. We had Hazard, but I was still wanting more in terms of goals and assists. And it's like Cole Palmer came out of nowhere and it's giving me that. So who knows, 5-6 years time when we're pointing at the main guy for Chelsea, he may overtake Lampard, right? He may add the titles to go with it. He may pick up a Ballon d'Or here or there. We just never know because how old is he?
22. No one started their Chelsea career like this. No one.
Exactly.
Not in my lifetime.
There's no limit to his ability right now. Right? And again, he did his first season, he did this in a struggling Chelsea squad. So just as Miss said, imagine when we properly have the pieces around him, which is starting to look like what we're doing now. Imagine when we don't have to rely on him game in, game out, and he only has to rise in certain moments. And even then, he's still getting goals and assists. West Ham, Wolves, we didn't rely on him. He was quote unquote quiet. He still picked up a goal and an assist. So what are we doing here? Imagine. I
will say one thing though. I did notice this against. Was it Wolves or was it which team that was trying to rough him up? Good. Was it West Ham?
West Ham first half.
West Ham first half. I do want to say that I hope referees are paying. I'm pretty sure teams will now clock on that this guy is their main player. Yeah, like teams will start picking out that this guy is their main player, and I hope the referees are well and truly aware, like protect him to a certain level. Because if you're an opposition manager, what are you telling your defenders and your midfielders or people that are going to press? And you're definitely telling them, make sure you're on him. Do not let him breathe. So, and I know Cole Palmer is smart enough to wriggle away, but we have to be very, very cautious how he gets treated over the next few games.
No, 100%. I mean, that's the only thing that needs to be affirmed is just stay fit, stay durable. That's the key. You want to make legacies, legendary statuses. Those players were fit most of the time. Some of them all of the time. Do you know what I mean? That's the key here. But he looks like he's well on his way to collecting some sort of individual honor very, very soon in this season. And for us, like you guys said, we just need to make sure that we're there with him. We need to make sure that we're performing to the level that's needed to keep a guy like this on your books, because we've already tripled the valuation of what we purchased. No doubt about it. He's
Bro,
100
he's
plus
quarter of
million
a
pound
bill.
player.
He's a quarter of a bill player. He's a quarter of a bill. No, he's 250 million pounds. Like, honestly,
leg.
what can he do?
Each leg,
What
bro.
can he
Each
do?
leg.
Each leg.
No,
Each
honest
leg.
talk. Honest talk. What can he do? He's quarter of a bill.
Honestly, the only thing I really want is for us to add a trophy. If he continues like this for the entire season, he deserves a trophy. Think about it. You can't be pulling all of these amazing performances and leave with nothing again other than individual trophies. Nah, man, we gotta put the supporting pieces around him to at least give him a FA Cup and a conference league. Something.
Yeah.
My man's gotta leave with something this season.
He's got to.
Word to Denzel. I'm leaving with something.
It takes a very special player for Man City to regret getting rid of you because they win so much and they're so successful. But I'm sorry, no matter how much success they have, they will always regret letting this player go, because you look at some of the chance creation issues that they had against Arsenal at home, and obviously, like I said, they'll probably still win the league, but they'll probably still win it, but they're missing a little bit of stardust right now. Little bit of stardust. Foden hasn't really started the season like a house on fire. They're missing another talisman, another bit of stardust, another bit of creativity, ingenuity. And this guy would have, the league are lucky that we took him off Pep's hands, because if they kept him and he was playing like this, finished.
You know what's mad for
Haaland Haaland and Palmer, 22 years old, both of them. Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
You know what's crazy for them is they let go. Mahrez left, right? And since then, they have been trying to fill in that void, at least on that right-hand side that cuts in and whatnot. He was perfect. He was perfect for them, man. He was perfect. And they've let him go. As you said, they might be all right for now. It's like when us, like we.
Of course, he was perfect. They made him.
Yeah. Well, we let go of KDB to Wolfsburg first, might I add. Yeah, not even directly to City, but they end up taking him, and then we started talking about what the sort of player we end up letting go of. With City, they might be all right now, like we were when we let him go. We won the league. City might be okay for now, but I think with time, when that rebuild comes and they have to start really looking at shifting players and rotating around, I think they're going to look and go, crap, we could have done with Cole Palmer here. So finders keepers.
The only thing I'll say is, well, they can't cry over spilt milk. How do we move?
100%. I mean, they built him perfect for them, and then they gave him to us. So what can we say? This is last thing on him, but this is truly one of those players where people say, oh, we should have paid more. I will give you double. This is truly one of those players where we really should have paid more. Like, this is a bargain. I'm actually going to say it. This actually excuses paying too much for Mudryk. This balances it out. I'm gonna write off that overpayment and put it over here because this one.
Matisse Armani. Are you saying Cole Palmer performances is so good that it makes up for Mudryk lack of performances?
Yeah.
So 2 for 1 basically.
Yeah. I'm willing to write that one off.
Football accounting.
This is real football accounting I'm doing right now. I'm moving the numbers about. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not giving City a cent more. That's your loss. You screwed the pooch on this one, and you're not getting a cent more.
It's all mad. I mean, standout performances outside of Cole Palmer. Where are we going next?
Cucurella. Silent hero. All day.
Wow. Sancho.
Everywhere. Blocking, little short man with the hair running around, heading away things, roughing up people. I'm a fan. I'm a fan now. I became a fan of Cucurella. The last 2 games, he's a defender that you want to defend. If it's 1-on-1 versus Cucurella, I'm not worried again. I used to be. I'm not worried again.
Cucurella is a type of player that gives confidence to others. His performance lifts others. When they see him run about everywhere, covering all areas of the field and defending the way he does, last minute tackle, bumping someone over. And let's talk about his ball playing ability as well. From deep, the way he just zips in those passes or the little passes, and the way he inverts, comes into midfield and becomes a genuine midfielder. Sometimes he's even crashing into the box. Like this guy. This guy's another one of those. What can he do? Is another one of those. What can he do? And honestly, his performances is. You guys been ever in a team situation, whether it's in sporting event, whether it's in work event, whatever. You ever come across a particular individual that you go, whoa, that individual is giving me confidence. Like he's inspiring me. He or she is inspiring me to do better. Cucurella is that type of a player, you know. Like he actually, when I see him perform the way he does, I think all the other teammates around him are like, we can't let this guy down, man. He's putting his heart and soul into the game. Like we really cannot let him down. And
It's
I love him,
infectious.
man. It's infectious, and I can't believe we were moments away from giving this guy to Man United last season. Like, wow, someone up there, the Almighty, is looking after us to a certain level, and I thank him for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Football gods are
Honestly,
smiling on
I
us,
think
boys.
there's
Yeah.
one
Smiling on
person.
us.
I think there's one person here that's responsible for this, and it's a remontada for Cucurella, right? And that is Maresca, man. We have to be real and say it as it is. I think when Cucurella first came to Chelsea, right, I was gassed. I was like, yes, like you guys remember. I'm like, this is the left back we need. This is the one I want. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we lost. Last season, we were like, what's happened to this? This guy's ruined, bruv. This guy's not what we thought he was. It does take one change, one system change, one new way of playing, and he's been unlocked. And he is still that same player that he was when we bought him. That's been proven. And he's been used right. It's as simple as that, the way that I see it. And you can see that he's enjoying this role that he has to play, that he's been given. And that comes to Maresca. It does. So, yeah, big up Maresca, but big up Cucurella as well. It's nice to know that the guy we bought is still here and he's thriving. Very happy.
Yeah, it's true. We're under a lot of pressure to make that signing work because we spent a lot of money on him and we needed to fix that left back situation with Chilwell always being injured and starting to drop off really in terms of his level. And the thing is, what I love about this position so much right now is that you've got one shithouse ground covering monster. And then what do you go and do? Substitute, bring on another shithouse ground covering monster. Only he's even better aerially. And he says, don't worry, I'm Renato Vega. I'm going to come on and I'm going to be a dickhead as well. I'm going to start smashing into people, slide tackling, bang, bang, bosh. And you're just like, when you're talking about bro, and the balance is so good because on that left-hand side, we needed someone to cover in for when Enzo maybe doesn't put that foot in or doesn't have that physicality. So that left back over there has to be a dickhead. Has to be a dickhead. He can't be soft. He can't be nice. He can't be friendly. He has to come into that midfield with Caicedo and be a dickhead. And that's exactly what these guys do. And then on top of that, you've got a left winger who does not give the ball away. So now you don't have an overlap all the time. You sometimes have an inverted fullback coming and giving you an inside run into the box. But most of the time, some of the time, you might be even outnumbered. And what do you need? Ball control, IQ, passing precision, weight of pass, all these things, and just be a baller, be a footballer's footballer. You're not looking for headlines. You're not looking for main man syndrome. Just comes in, little assist. When Sancho signed, I said, you know what? We didn't need this player, but I've always liked him. And I think if we can get him mentally back where he needs to be, and he's good business. 20 to 25 million for his talent we saw at Dortmund. I'm sorry, a quarter of what Man United paid all those years ago, that's good business. And when I did my transfer ratings for the summer, I put him in the business class. We had economy class, we had first class, I put him in business class because he's still got to prove it. Boy, oh boy, is he proving it, man. Like, he's just a good player. And then you got Palmer. Palmer will just say, which winger wants to play well? Which one? Because whoever wants to play well, I will go to your side and we'll play football. I'll leave the other one isolated. I'll go to your side. Madueke, Wolves. All right, let's go. Oh no, not today. Okay, Sancho, let's go. It's beautiful.
One of the things I love to see, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, the instant chemistry between Cucurella and Sancho. Like, how much time did we see Cucurella try to link up with Mudryk and it wasn't just quite there yet? Or even Neto. It's just taking a while to build. The minute Sancho steps in, it's one of those things, what's understood doesn't need to be said. It's just instantaneous. And then it creates a balance for the entire field. Man, I'm waiting for the day, just like Mati says, but where both wings want to play. Oh, it will be a glorious day. When both wings are producing, it will be a glorious day.
It's energy saving, brother. That's what it is. Energy saving. We're in, cost of living. We turn one light on, one switch, we turn the other one off. And then we turn that light switch off. When you was living with your mum and dad, did they let you have all the lights on in the house? No, they didn't. Nope. You put all the lights on in your house, you're getting slap up. You're finished.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Turn that light off.
Facts.
So we said, all right, Madueke, turn that light off. We don't need it on today. Sancho, you turn your light on. Do you know what I mean? Palmer, turn your light on. Jackson, you're one of them little twisty ones. We're dimming it. We're still on a little bit. We're dimming it. Yeah, we're dimming it. You know them ones? I'm telling you, bro.
The low light settings.
Settings. Cost efficient. Yeah, cost efficient. Man. I'm telling you. Everybody's lights don't need to be on in the house. As long as I can see where I'm going, that's all I need. That's all I need. I need to know where I'm going. As long as I can see where I'm going, fantastic. We had enough lights on in the house. I got to my destination. But we don't need to have all the lights on, man. They all work. We all know all the lights work. And there's a couple bulbs in the box that they don't work. They're broken. And some of them didn't make the bench. Some of them don't come off the bench. Fine. You stay there to the side. But every light that went on that pitch, it turns on. So it's fine. It's not a problem.
I'm telling you now, with all the heartache and struggle we've been through for the last 2.5 years, we're due a day where all the lights, including the generator, is going to be on. And on that day...
Are you throwing a party that day? You must be throwing a party.
Bro, on that day, we will be there. That's all I'm going to say.
It's going to be a house party. Yeah?
Exactly. We're getting all the lights, the background lights and everything. We even get the neon sign. Welcome to Stanford. Yeah, no, 100%. But for real, one of these days, all our attack, everyone's going to be on one and it's going to be hell for the opposition. Let's hope it's against Nottingham first.
I mean, Younes, Miz, whoever wants to go first. What do you think of the Sancho signing at the moment? Because he's just come in after a hiatus from football, really, at Old Trafford. Obviously, he had a bit of a spell at Dortmund. That Dortmund loan is looking so important for us right now because it was a chance for him to get his confidence back, go home, get to a Champions League final, comes here, and he's just starting every week. And really, the way that the other wingers are playing, Mudryk, Madueke, Neto, none of them have really built any consistency. He's like guaranteed to start right now. I'm a little bit, I don't know how to feel because we always knew this talent was there. I wanted him like 4 years ago, but he had to prove it. And it's still early in the season and people will still question him and doubt him, but he just seems he's got people on his wavelength and that's what he never had at Man United. He was playing with Bruno Fernandes, who's just playing kick and rush. Yeah. Rashford, kick and rush. Palmer, they're speaking the same language.
Not just only Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Cucurella. Everyone is on the same page and the same wavelength. Sancho, you just see it in his body language that he's really enjoying it now in Chelsea Football Club. He's enjoying the training sessions. You can tell with the training videos. He's got a lot of English international players that he can mingle with. Obviously, he's not in the England setup, but who knows? Maybe in the future he might be if he continues in this vein. But he just feels like he's in a happy like he's in a happy place, Matisse. Like you can just tell the way he plays. And one of the most important things that I like about Sancho is he's so forward thinking all the time. Like you never see this guy receive the ball and the first thought is to pass it back. He's forward thinking. How can I hurt this opposition? by going forward, whether it's him taking on a player or whether it's him linking up with someone and then making the run, or whether he's waiting for someone to make a darting run so he can put them through. I love it, man. I love it. And you're right, man. He must have been in such a hellhole at Man United. I mean, this guy, it's not a coincidence. As soon as Man United lost yesterday, this guy retweeted, like purposely retweeted the picture of him and Palmer where it's got love and something emoji and whatever it said. He retweeted that. Then he also went on Instagram and he liked Spurs scoreline 3-0 victory against Man United. Like, this guy, he must have absolutely hated his time at Man United. And I've said it to so many people, so many Man United fans, even people in Australia that are Man United fans, like they'd be like, "Oh, you'll see what type of player he is. You'll see Ms. Sancho." And I'm like, I think you see what type of player he is. And I'm baffled that you've not been able to use that kind of a player. And now they're starting to see this, and I hope it continues. I think the time he scores the goal for Chelsea, it's going to hit like crack, man. I'm going to lose it. I know, definitely live stream. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to celebrate like magnificently. Do you know what I mean? So I can't wait for that. But so far, he's getting those assists and he's winning the penalty. I'm loving it, man. Hopefully he continues this in this way. And wow, what a business, man. As you said, Matisse, he's definitely a top business. Even though I still stick to my point, what I said earlier when we did get him, that like, it felt to me it was a bit unnecessary. You know, I would have gone for a striker. But now I'm thinking about it and how it's all set up nicely, and the fact that Mudryk is completely out of the picture, looks like. Sancho definitely makes sense. And yeah, man, Man United, how much more are they going to be in the mud? Not only with what's happening with that football club, but now things that they're letting go is becoming a bit of a mud situation for them as well. They're thriving elsewhere. So I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
No, honestly,
another performance, I guess. Oh, go on, Younes.
No, real quick. With Sancho, to follow up on what Mrs. has said, not that the timing is impeccable. Like the fact that he leaves and then United plummet into the depths of hell, right? It's poetic. It's poetry. And on top of that, I think it's safe to say, like, I remember when we got him, I was asking a question. I needed a confirmation on one point, and we now have that confirmation. We have that confirmation. The problem was Ten Hag. End of story. Whether United fans like it or they don't like it, it was not Sancho. Sancho is a top footballer. He's proven that. He was being ruined by your manager. It's as simple as that. Ten Hag was the problem. We now have confirmation, as proven by Manchester United lately. So big up to Sancho. And I have to say kudos to the Chelsea admin, because that picture you're referring to, Miz, that he liked, right? Or he reposted, he retweeted.
Retweeted.
That picture was posted directly, I think it was just after Man United lost to Tottenham. So the Chelsea admin knew what he was doing, right? And then Sancho reposted that straight after. So hey, Chelsea on a wavelength right now. Everyone's on this massive, like this weird frequency. It's flowing. Whereas Man United is crashing. So I'm very happy. And big up to Sancho, because he's phenomenal right now as well. Gone into his element.
I didn't know that. So our admin posted that picture when Spurs beat them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then Sancho went
because it's just to show the sign. It's like he's at home somewhere watching that Man United game. No doubt he's watching that game, and he's watching Ten Hag standing up at Old Trafford in the pissing, pouring rain, getting slapped up with his no follicle head. Yeah, his no follicle head getting slapped up at home to Tottenham. Losing at home to Tottenham is one thing. Getting battered and losing luckily 3-0 when it should have been 6 or 7 is another thing. And he's just sitting there thinking, this is why I didn't apologize. This is why I didn't apologize. They all wanted me to apologize. They all wanted me to say I'm sorry. I'm not fucking sorry. Because you are mental. He fell out with Ronaldo. He fell out with Sancho. And it would have looked like a stroke of genius if he actually picked up the pieces of that team and actually put them in a serious position. But when you fall out with that many people, and there's rumblings before Varane and, and then you come out the other side looking worse. Your team is only getting worse. You're spending more and more money and only looking worse. We are not mud brothers. That's what I said yesterday on my review. We are not mud brothers anymore. It's not raining. It's not raining in my post-match review. You know what I mean? It's not raining in my post-match review. These men are far, far, far away from us. I'm very confident with chest in saying that. And that's why my Premier League predictions at the start of the season, I'm going to go back to all those comments that were like, you're deluded, you're mad, how could you do this? You're just doing this for clickbait or you're just doing this for views. I put Chelsea 4th and I put Manchester United 8th. 8th.
If that.
And you all laughed at me. You're not laughing now, are you? Unless you sack this manager and then the context of my video changes. Because I said at the start, I can't predict sackings and injuries and whatnot. But brother, that is 8th. They're looking like an 8th place team at best because they're right now in the bottom half on a -3 goal difference. I said what I said. I said what I said, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Them man are Jesus. Gee Willikins, bruv. My goodness. I've never seen a club like it. Wow.
They're in the mud. They're in the mud, blood. And not like I said, nothing will ever change with United unless the manager change. And even then, there's still context around that manager change. So it is what it is. You know what?
If my
Long
team
live
keep the
Ten
ball
Hag.
like that, bro.
They should make a decision after the Chelsea game in November.
After,
make a decision
bro,
at the
He better be there. I'll be honest.
Yes, he better.
after. Yeah, man.
He
After
better
the
be
Chelsea
there.
game, give him another chance. Give him another chance. KG, I saw the review. Don't give up yet. Stay in there, brother. Flex, stay in there, brother. Rants. He was
never there.
He was never there. He was never there. But KG, you got it. Goldbridge, you are right. Keep him. Where's to go? Keep him until after the Chelsea game. Think about it this way. We finished 12th and 6th. Right? So we should be your competitors. Let's see how you do against us then.
Do you know what it is, though? If that was happening to us, I'm pretty sure we would be breaking our keyboards on this podcast.
Bro,
I'm pretty sure Miz would have taken down those T-shirts off his wall and he would have just gone with the blank canvas. I'm pretty sure it would have been a very angry, irate, aggressive episode, because even when you're hitting wafflings in that side of the football hemisphere, talking about he hasn't had enough, he hasn't got his own players, it's the same players down in tools, and then you go through it and you just see how many players have debuted or signed by him. 2 of the keepers, then you got like nearly all of the midfielders bar Bruno, then you've got you've got most of the defenders bar the fullback.
It's his team.
It's his team. It's his team, bro.
There's this delusion
I don't know what
that
people are
it's
saying.
not
This
his
is your
team
team,
not been
brother.
backed. It's his team. It's his team, bro. Look, Saeed was right when he said, "Bro, they spent 600 million. He's been backed. He's been backed." Look, Anthony from Ajax is enough to prove to you that it's his team for 80 million, and then you see what he's delivering.
And do you know what's so funny? It's not like as if his signings are working.
No. It's all flopped.
It's not even like
all
his
flopped.
signings are even working. You'd be like, if you just keep giving him his signings, it's going to keep working. The more signings he makes, the lower in the table they go.
Exactly.
You know it's bad when KG is like, you know it's bad when KG can't defend this no more. You know it's bad when KG completely gives up.
Yeah,
Oh,
listen,
boy.
like that was just a public service announcement to say we are not mud brothers anymore. Like, stay away from us. We got bigger fish to fry.
No, we're not going down that route either. We're not going down that route either because they imploded that phrase. No. When we do things, up there we do it properly. Simple as that.
We need to do it properly. It's true. But do you remember when Tottenham finished above Arsenal for the top 4 race, and then they were like, see, look what we've done to you, and then really over time, it weren't really what they thought it was, Tottenham fans. And this is very similar to last season where Man United put us in the Conference League because they scammed an FA Cup win against drunken players from Manchester City. And we had a better season than them. We played better than them.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the performances. And now over time, I said to Cams, who would you rather be, Chelsea or Man United? I said it. Over time, Flex, I said it. Over time, you're going to find out. And we're not perfect. We got a whole heap more improvement to do. But you don't need to be perfect, be much better than Man United. You just need to be a football team. You just need to be a working blood cell.
You
know
need
what
to
I mean?
be competent. Simple and done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just need to be competent and just need a manager with a structure and players to buy into that structure and give us some basic level of performance in, and then afterwards we build after that. It's not that difficult. I don't know what to say about Ten Hag, but this man lost the plot.
Their football club is 100% finito. It is done. It is evaporating. Now, seriously, you know how when water evaporates into just air and it just disappears? That's what we're seeing with Man United. They're evaporating. They're becoming a science project. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people will say that, get rid of Ten Hag. No problems. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. You think you're going to just get rid of like the deep-rooted issues? There is massive, like there is. I feel there's a sense of depression in that club, bro. Like there is a sense of depression.
Bro, look at their captain. He treats the ball like a hot potato, bro.
Bro, Bruno Fernandes. This guy's a mad. I said this about Bruno Fernandes during the COVID years when he was still getting goals and assists. I'm like, this guy, like, it's all about just popping in for a goal and somehow making these Hollywood passes and getting this assist. He's not really a footballer, and he always disappears from big games. And now, you know, it's shown what a stupid player he looks like. Mason Mount is just simply not the same player that he used to be once upon a time for us. He's finito as well. Ugarte has gone there for 2 days, and this guy's already binned. He's already flop of the season, apparently. Like he just landed.
Can you imagine living in a world where 2-time player of the year, Mason Mount, is playing for Manchester United and flopping hard, and Jadon Sancho is playing for Chelsea after flopping at Man United and playing well? It just doesn't make any sense.
But here's the thing.
It goes to show. It goes to show it's Manchester United. Miz is right. I would say to a good extent that the football club and the fabric has been just decimated. What I will say is Ineos and Ratcliffe have just recently come in, but they're letting themselves down now by not taking action. Because Ten Hag is a problem here. Like, have you seen Ten Hag talk? I saw the interview that he done before this game against Tottenham. Bro, I'm sorry, but I was surprised. Like, I'm like, is this how he operates on like a normal day when like he's just in his office chilling, like, and you want to talk to him? Because I'm sorry, if that's how he is, I'm not inspired one bit, bro. Like, if that's me, I'm like, I don't want to play for you. But he gives me, at least Graham Potter came across as like just a genuinely nice guy. Yeah, this guy just looks scared. Ten Hag just looks frightened of life. I don't know what it is. It's just that plays a part, bro. In a dressing room for Manchester United, where the levels are already low, you need a character in there, bro. There has to be someone. And when I say look at us,
a lot of people
when I say look at us, and you look at Maresca, yeah, and we've been like really unsure on him, and there is still doubts there in the long term. We don't know, but one thing we can't argue is the way that he talks and comes across, and his character is shining right now. Right? Players know, like they know what they get. Ten Hag is a different story, man. So I reckon they'll be better if they get rid of Ten Hag. They'll level up at least a bit. But there is a fabric there that needs work 100%, and their new owners need to sort that out, because Man United are crashing hard.
Right now, Manchester United are living off their history, and I've said this to multiple discussions I've had. If Manchester United did not have the history, you'd be looking at you wouldn't have the same conversations around them, right? People would be looking at who they are now. And if they don't rectify these issues, they'll become that we used to club. We used to do this. Oh, in my time, Manchester United were the king of the kings. We've said it on
they already are.
Of the one-on-one podcast I've had with each one of you guys, right? Manchester, I pose the question to you guys right now. Apart from their history, which also is included in their PR, what does Manchester United have right now to make them one of the biggest clubs in the world?
Nothing.
Apart from their history.
Revenue, that's it.
They keep saying, oh, we're the biggest club. Yeah, but that's because of their history.
The brand, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. people keep saying, "Oh, we're big as Real Madrid." What makes you big as Real Madrid? Real Madrid keeps winning. Real Madrid keeps going through this period where they're churning out results, churning out trophies. You think of the UCL, you think about Real Madrid first. One time when you used to think about the Premier League, you would think about Manchester United first. Now you're thinking about City. And even before you think about United, you think about Liverpool or Arsenal. What keeps on making them a big club apart from branding and history? And I know that goes a long way, but I'm talking about right now. They need to fix up, or else they
don't need to fix up. They need to keep doing what they're doing, because I'm very entertained. I'm very, very entertained. But we were speaking about competency, and on the last episode, we were saying, or I was saying that Sanchez in goal is one of the biggest. Like, he's gonna have to have one of the biggest seasons of his life for me to be convinced that he's gonna be the guy that stays in goal for us for the future campaigns, because a couple of games is not going to do it for me. You're going to need to have an exceptional season, not a couple of games, because I am very, very, very against him being first choice at Chelsea Football Club in the long term. And unfortunately in this game, he kind of just did what he does with those bozo moments. You know, he had his flap, he had his flip, he had his pass into I think it was Caicedo, which really we should never have played that pass. We overplayed. Ball playing goalkeepers do make mistakes. Thankfully, we did win the game. We can score goals, so it didn't cost us. But yeah, he's always got one or two of these moments in him, and unfortunately, he's just got so much to do. That's all I can say. He's got so much to do before I'm convinced. I don't really think he can do what I'm asking for my goalkeepers to do, really. At this club, Petr Cech, Courtois' level, he's not going to be that level. He's never going to be that level. So it was a bad day for him. But I also saw something about, did you guys see something about the set piece coach getting involved in, like when we got corners and whatnot, his instructions are really starting to show now, and maybe his tweaks and his changes are starting to improve the team. So that's good to see. Do you guys feel like Chelsea need more credit for that win, or is it more Brighton opening up sesame in defence and just playing a crazy line and it's easy to clip it over the top?
I said this, and I want you guys to look at it holistically. If we didn't make those two defensive errors, who do we have last 2 goals?
Potentially not. They didn't have loads of big chances from what I remember.
There you go. The answer is your question. If those 2 goals came from 2 direct defensive errors, though them being made, we would have won that game 4-2. Brighton can attack, so I do expect them to attack every now and then. It's not like we're going to ever dominate the game 90% of the game or 100% of the game and they won't attack, because that's just nonsensical watching a football game. From what we know from football, but if it wasn't for those 2 defensive errors, that's a 4-0 win. Is it not?
However, so I will say on top of that, because when I look at Brighton being, let's say, quote unquote, poor, I don't necessarily look at how they got their goals. How we got our goals, mate, they were playing a higher line than Spurs. It was suicide. Like, portions of that first half, I'm looking at Brighton, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Everyone was saying the same thing. Like, their line was so high, I got high. Basically, it's stupid how high they were playing. That doesn't make sense. Like, to me, I was looking and going, mate, we're in. We are so in right now. Just hit them on the counter and we're going to score goals. I even said, like, listen, keep doing this. We're going to win 5-1. And then it got to 4-2. But it was so blatant. So, yeah, Brighton could have defended, I think, or set up, not defended, but set up a lot better than that, man. That was suicide.
Do you know what I like about Enzo Maresca? And this was another sort of findings, I suppose, that I've had in recent times with watching Maresca. I initially thought Maresca is the kind of a manager that really focuses on possession, keep the ball, keep control. I'm starting to more think he's a lot more pragmatic than we think he actually is. I think he's more about, let's hurt the opposition where their weakness is. Now, if that means we need to have less of the ball, let's have less of the ball. That's not the big problem here. I think he's well aware of Brighton's strengths and weaknesses, and he just honed in on the weakness. Like, you know, when you have a wound, like someone, let's say, has a wound, and you just put the finger in there and you just hold it there until it just hurts and hurts and hurts, and you forget about all the strengths that you have because you're in so much pain. Maresca's like that. He's like, guys, these lot will keep coming at us. Like, it's just in their nature. Like, they don't have any other way of playing. They just want to keep coming at us. All you got to do is just stay as compact as possible and early release, and we'll have runners come in and then everyone can join in. And it's not a coincidence that whoever disrupted the play when Brighton was trying to get into our final third, they were looking for quick passes straight through the middle or vertically towards the wingers. And I think, but this was so different to how we played against West Ham, which was also so different to how we played against Crystal Palace first half. So I now understand when Maresca comes into press conferences, especially after the last international break, right? And he said, during this international break, we played in different scenarios. We want to find different solutions. We don't want to just have one type of football that fits for everyone. No, every Premier League team plays in a different mannerism. They have different behaviors. Players have different roles. And we need to figure out what we need to do as a team to make sure we can get the victory. For me, that is as pragmatic as it comes.
Yeah.
So, and we have to understand this guy is an Italian manager. Who's the last Italian manager to play tiki-taka football? None. Italian managers don't play tiki-taka football. What do Italian managers do, though? What do Italian managers do? It's about results. It's about results. So
Italian managers fit Chelsea so well, man.
But
Jesus
Italian
Christ.
managers are there for just results. So I'm keen to see what he's going to do against Nottingham Forest, because Nottingham Forest are not going to have a high line. So now you got to rethink again. You got to now. Do you play the possession? Do you just starve them? What do you do with their counter? How do you go at someone like Nottingham Forest? So I'm just keen to see the different cards that Maresca has. It's exciting. It's good. It's not always the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing about
the key is that we know we're in this. Oh, go on.
Real quick. I think I've got a delay, by the way. I think there's like a 2-second delay for you guys hearing as well. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I can tell. I'll get that sorted. But with Maresca, there's one thing that at first started to get me thinking, and I was like, what's going on here? Because Leicester fans were saying one thing last season. When you're looking at what the previous fans of that manager normally say, it's normally accurate. And they were saying like he can be stubborn, he's got one way, he's super possession based, and that's it. That's all he does, right? And the fact that he almost threw the entire championship lead last season. But when we're looking this season, when we're looking at with us, when we started to hit the amount of counterattacks that we saw, for me that was refreshing, because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting us just try and keep the ball as much as possible, and that's it. And be super patient and pass sideways and backwards, and just, the type of football that we're just exhausted of, right? And when I started to see that amount of counters, which we love a good counterattack, yeah, that's part of our DNA. That's how we've got a lot of our success playing that way. And you're talking about Italian managers, was basically the epitome of that. So it's super refreshing when you start to see how flexible Maresca can be. Game in, game out, there's little shifts. And there's little different pattern changes, and there's little different systems. Just the system isn't always the same. That's refreshing for me. It shows that he can adapt to whoever we're playing against. And the one thing that you see, which we knew from the get-go, you could just tell he knew what he wanted. I was always kind of worried and a bit scared of, I hope it's not just one way and then that's it, like Leicester fans are saying and all of that. And it's just super possession based, and that's it. It's tiring. It gets a bit boring. It's just we don't get results that way. He's done the complete opposite of that, and this is why I give him credit, because it's really coming out of his shell, a shell that I didn't think he'd come out of. So I think it's testament. Hopefully he keeps it going, and if he does, mate, he could be on the way to doing something really good, really, really good. I hope it continues.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously in this era that we're in, the Pep era, and everybody's obsession with playing out from the back and obviously playing a certain way. And you're seeing even teams near the bottom of the league or teams in lower divisions sometimes shooting themselves in the foot by conceding tap-ins because they've tried to play out from the back. But one thing I always admire is you want to get results and you want to make sure that you adapt to the situation and you are a bit pragmatic. And if we play great football 80% of the time, then fantastic. But you have to get results as well. Like, you can't just play great football and not get results. You have to also do what suits your side. What attributes are you gonna, kind of put to the forefront, and what weaknesses are you gonna cover? And this season we haven't had any players playing out of position. Maatsen on the right wing, Chilwell on the left wing, Enzo Fernandez playing in the second striker. We haven't had Cole at left back. It's just been nice to see people playing in their correct position to their strengths, enjoying their football. Very complimentary. Now, we're in a nice period because we're playing teams where we should be beating them. Brighton at home, Forest at home, Ghent. We need to win both those games. International break after that,
it gets rough.
Okay, gets real difficult. And that's when we see what this manager's capable of when he goes into that period, when he's playing up against Slot at Anfield, when we're away from home in a big game. He's not even had one of those yet. He's only had City at home. So there's lots of tests to come, lots of trials and tribulations. There's defeats, unfortunately. But right now, I understand and I agree with everybody just enjoying the moment, because we've suffered enough. We have suffered enough. Do you know what I mean? So whilst we're playing well, whilst we're in a great position, whilst we're almost building up a buffer for if things do have a bad run or we do have a bad spell where we have something to fall back on. Yeah, I'm all for it. I wanted to actually ask you, Javon, specifically, because a lot of people, I don't know if you guys have been getting as well, but a lot of people have been messaging or commenting or Madueke, selfish. 2v1, 3v1, could have just passed it to Enzo, could have passed it to Palmer. He did pass to Sancho, that goal was offside. Where do you sit, Javon? Because I know this is you're a big fan of the kid. Where do you kind of sit with all these selfish claims that people keep throwing out?
Listen, it's a weird one, because I want my attackers to be somewhat selfish, but selfish in the right way. Like, just make the best decisions at the right time. And my main stance with Madueke is I wanted him to have a run of games where we could see what he can do. Don't give him the stop-start game like last season and then just bin him off, right? Now, after the hat-trick, he hasn't necessarily covered himself in glory in terms of what he did in the games after the fact. It's not like I scored a hat-trick this game, I'm going to put out the performances. And one thing that stood out to me thus far, he hasn't been taking on his fullback as much as he used to last season. I don't know if anybody else realized it, but this season, I haven't gotten on to the edge of my seat. And I'm like, okay, Madueke, wash him, destroy him, turn him inside out. And that for me is lacking. No, I'm going to keep it the same level across the board. I don't want Pedro Neto to get a run of games. Because how can you lock down a starting spot if you don't get the same opportunity as the next guy who's getting that opportunity but not locking down that spot, right? I always defend Madueke because I think the fan base goes overboard when simply all you have to say, okay, he's had his run a game, let's give Neto a chance. If Neto gets a run a chance and he locks it down, that's all on Madueke, because you got your chance. Maresca trusted you when everybody and their dog are calling for you to be on the bench. Right? I've seen Younes' review. Younes is getting to the point where he's fed up. Miz, we know you, Miz. So you think there's a player there, but his inconsistency is killing you. But luckily, the other players on the front line is kind of covering for it, right? Genuinely, I want Pedro Neto to get the same
Opportunity.
Energy. Yes, give him a run of games. Madueke has had, 6 games? Six? No, he didn't start the first game. So 5 games, right? 5 games where he could show up. And I'm not expecting you to score a hat-trick every game, but give some level of performances where we can say, yes, this is you, and we can build off that. Pedro Neto hasn't had that. So give Pedro Neto his 5 games and then make a decision. Who knows? Maybe Pedro Neto gets the next 2 games and Madueke comes off the bench and realizes, okay, I got to fix up here. And then he starts turning up performances again. He may not. We won't know, but we have to be fair with the entire squad. We can't just, and it's the same thing I said with Mudryk. Because he played well against midweek against Barrow. I wanted him to get game time to see if he could do anything. Didn't do much, but it's the same. But Mercer gave him that game time because he did well midweek.
Even West
so I just
Ham,
want to keep the same level of fairness across the board.
Do you know what it is as well? Like I've always said we do good scouting, but then sometimes we get ourselves roped into PSR, we get ourselves roped in with agents, or we get ourselves roped into swap deals, or we get ourselves roped into shit that maybe doesn't concern us. Neto cost a lot of money as well, and I like Neto. I like Neto a lot. So he should be more than capable of starting on that right flank and holding that position and playing well as well. But it pisses me. And I said it after Wolves. I said, Madueke, I'll be honest, this season you need to make me forget about Elise. People think I have an obsession. I do. You would be right. You would be correct. That kid, I said it so many times, he is a baller. He is a baller. And I'm telling you, we were this close to having him and Palmer together. God forbid him, Palmer and Sancho. This close. I'm crying inside. It's going to take a lot for me to forget. I'm telling you. Like, you know, when we're talking about Palmer, he's going to be world class. Like, we don't even need to discuss it. That's the same way I feel about Elise. It's the same way. It's just biding time for no reason. Biding time for no reason. So I need one of these guys to make me forget, because what annoys me with these scouts is that they get so close sometimes, and then for whatever reason, or his wages or whatever, cool, whatever. I do like the wage structure, but we get so close, but then we get so far. Even me, Jason Derulo. Duran, you know, Duran is banging in goals. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, but people will say, "Oh, you called him Jason Derulo, so it's your fault." I said, "Hold on a second. It's like the boy who cried wolf. We have Washington, we have Gue, we had Datro. So if you're gonna have all of these developing strikers, those ones aren't good? You don't believe in those? That's not good scouting. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to sign all those guys, then I have to see them, right? Before I say get another one. If you buy me, you know, ice cream, chocolate, who am I to ask for cake without eating the ice cream and chocolate that you've bought me? That's just disrespectful. If I walk into Mrs. house and he makes me dinner, and it's Washington and it's Datro and it's Gue all on one plate, and I don't even at least give these guys a try before I say, where the fuck is dessert? Where's dessert, miss? I need dessert. What kind of ungrateful? Pause. What? It doesn't make any sense.
I am no more new pause. Oh, you heard me? Oh, shit. Pause.
It don't make no sense. So it is like the boy who cried wolf a little bit, because who was we to know, I guess, that this guy was actually the truth. But yeah, man, it annoys me because we're very ambitious on this panel. We as much as we're looking good, I know we want more. I know you guys are like, yo, if man, there was Chelsea fans when Rodri got injured, they were like,
No, calm. One game at a time.
Not me. There were people on the TL that were like, I was like, that does not concern us. I'm telling you now, that is none of our business. Rodri getting injured is none of our business.
That's Arsenal's problem, bro. No, that's Liverpool's problem.
There were Chelsea fans like, I wonder if there's something in this for us. I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? No, it doesn't concern us. So, but I wish it did. That's what jars me, is I wish it did.
Next season
I
it
will
will.
say,
next season it will.
We're not there yet.
Exactly. The aim, so the ambition you're talking about here, alongside logic, is to make sure that next season, that's our problem. It has to be our problem next season. Like this season, like we're in that phase where, all right, we go back to 2013. We're aiming to be that little horse, yeah? That little horse that needs some food and some training and knows how to jump and whatnot. Yeah, all of that. And then next season, we're up there competing for the title. We must get top 4 this season, and next season, we're in the title race. That's the ambition. We're not letting that slide. But there has to be logic. Top 4 is the aim this season. We have to be real. And if Arsenal bottle it once again, it will just be funny.
I see the stars. Yeah. or Younes, I see the stars. Maybe we could pull off a Leicester, just come out of nowhere. But calm. I'm getting too excited just thinking about it. It'd be a madness. Calm. One game at a time.
It's all mad. So yeah, but outside of that, good substitutions, good game management. We go into Thursday. I think we're going in very, very confident. We should be able to dust down Ghent without any issues. These are lovely confidence builders. These are lovely opportunities for Dewsbury Halls, for other players. Carney Chukwuemeka didn't even make the bench on the weekend. Both of them didn't make the bench, which doesn't surprise me because we have only got so much space and there's not really many injuries. Maybe Lavia gets a little bit more game time. So yeah, this Conference League, I'll be honest, I don't mean to disrespect, but we should be sleepwalking through that group stage.
But I will disrespect. I don't mean to disrespect, but I will disrespect.
Do you know what I mean? We sleepwalking through. Like, I don't even know everyone in our group. I didn't even watch the Conference League draw.
Neither do I.
I'll be honest. I'm not interested.
Forgot.
I know Noah's Ark's in it. Noah's Ark.
Asthma attack.
And I know there's a
Shamrock.
Greek team, Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos is in it.
Oh,
Those are the two
Panathinaikos.
that I fully remember.
Yeah, Genk. Genk played in the Europa League and the Champions League.
Yeah, of course.
No,
we know
you're
Genk.
talking about Genk.
There's more.
You're talking about Genk.
You're talking about Genk. See, look,
You're talking about Genk.
you disrespecting. You said Genk. This is Ghent.
This is Genk.
Oh shit!
Two different teams.
You don't know about Ghent.
Oh,
You're
God,
talking about Genk.
How would
That is
them be
actually a Champions League team. I think.
Decent
Genk.
side.
Yeah. We know Ghent. I know Ghent.
You know Ghent too, yeah?
Ghent. No, I could have sworn they played in the Champions League
Ghent
a
are
few
like
years
Genk
ago.
from
No?
which?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally. Sometimes you get your Sheriffs and you get your Ghents and all these teams that pop up in champs, but they don't really be there too often. Do you know what I mean? So
we're taking the game seriously.
yeah, we
Of course we are.
They
Of
are.
course.
They are. Me? Are you doing a preview, guys? Yeah, we're doing.
I don't
preview.
know.
I'm doing a review.
I'm not
gonna
doing
do
a preview because I don't know who Genk are.
I'm doing a review. I'm taking it seriously. I want wins. More W's
Yeah.
bring more confidence. So when we do play these bigger games, we can go in there. So
100%.
No, but you know what? I will disrespect this a little bit. Yeah, I will disrespect Conference League just a bit because did you guys see Servette on the socials and what they posted after they won on the
Yeah,
weekend?
they tried to. Yeah, they're just trying to get. Yeah.
They beat Lausanne and they're putting a picture up
Yeah.
with them and Chelsea like, hey, you won, we won too. Like, what's going on here?
Bro,
Like,
they're just trying to get. They're just trying to get followers, man. Like, allow it, man.
they're just trying to
Allow
be
it.
included. They just want to be
Allow it.
included.
We played you 2 times, man. Allow it now. Do you know what
this
I mean?
is
That's
Conference
it,
League
man.
level,
They're just
people.
trying to
This
get
is the
followers off,
Conference
man.
League.
Bro. I'll be honest. We need to hurry up and get out of here, man. We need to hurry up and win this thing and get out of here, man. We don't belong here. I'll be honest. We do not.
No, we
belong here.
don't. We so don't
You
belong.
can say that
Jesus
all you
Christ.
want. I'm going to be shameless. Especially with that trophy, I'm going to get the replica. I'm going to be shameless. It's a trophy at the end of the season and it's in Europe. I am going to be shameless. It completes the set. We've won it all. I'm going to be the shameless man on the internet. Say whatever you want. I don't care.
Mad. Well, that is the perfect way to end this episode. Younes, let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
It has, man, and onwards and upwards. And what I will say is, look, we've got this game at Ghent, at the Bridge against Ghent, and we've got Nottingham Forest on the weekend. So Hudson-Odoi comes back and whatnot. But remember, we were talking about translating that away form now into home form and getting the Bridge up and running, and it's looking like we're now starting that process. Can't believe I said that word. But we're starting that rhythm now. And hopefully, this is going to be a case where that home form now starts to translate and things on both ends of the spectrum are feeling good. Because if we can do that and we can head into like Liverpool and all of that, feeling super confident, that's going to be great. So hopefully we get up and running. And I'll be previewing and giving reviews out for all those games on Younes Talks Football. As I think it says right here, I'm not sure if this is how it's going to end up on screen. I think it is. But yeah, basically, Younes Talks Football is where you'll find me. And I'll see all of you there.
There you go. Miz, let the people know where to find you, bro. Been a pleasure as always.
It's been a pleasure, man. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully another couple of victories, actually. One against Ghent and one against Nottingham Forest. That will be 6 out of 6 after the international break. Wow!
Yeah.
When was that
Wow.
last time it happened to us? That would be sensational. So yeah, the other side of the coin. I've got a Premier League wrap up coming up today. So if you guys are keen, some of the things on a weekly basis that I would do now, which is after the Premier League weekend is over. I know there's still one more match to go, but who cares about Bournemouth versus Southampton? I talk about some of the top topics that has taken place. So they'll come out today straight after I don't know when this is actually going to come out, so it's probably going to be before this.
Yeah, probably,
and yeah, just the daily news that happens at Chelsea Football Club until obviously the Ghent game. I don't think I'm going to do a preview on Ghent because I don't know too much about them, but I will do a watch along and then a review. That's for sure. So yeah, that's
there you are. And Javon, let the people know where to find you, because I know you had a one-on-one with Goonie I was seeing in the early hours of the morning in the UK. I was watching.
Yeah, someone actually commented that my posting schedule is wild. But yeah, it's the Fan Always a podcast. I just dropped the episode with one-on-one with Goonie. Check it out. It's a great conversation. We're going to actually have a part 2 because we didn't even get into the latter stages of Chelsea and his journey. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 776 right now. So I'm almost there. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the latest one-on-one with Javon. Let me know who you guys want next on the podcast. This is not strictly for Chelsea content creators. We're just doing the Chelsea ones first. And I will be doing a match review on the Ghent and a match preview and a review on Nottingham Forest. And then we'll do the European roundup during the international breaks. So we're going to coming to the channel. And
Javon, I'm going to say this now. Look, if you want to boost those numbers up, next guest, get Saeed on, because the man is flying right now. Like,
trust me. We got a couple, and we still got part 2 with Younes to come through, but in all due time, people.
Well, there you are, guys. Make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you go and subscribe to all the channels, and we will see you next week. I'm enjoying these Mondays, by the way. Like, perfect way to start the week. We're in form. We're playing well. We're living life. And then we just go about our business, and then we come back and reconvene again. So, yeah, until then, big up your damn selves in a bit, people.